In this video, we're going to have a look at components in parallel. Parallel components are components that are the inverse of components in series. You can think of the components stacked on top of each other instead of stacked end to end. Look at this circuit diagram here. Here we've got two resistors to each other in parallel. See how the two components, they're stacked on top of each other. In real life, this is what that circuit would look like. They're looking pretty parallel, huh? Let's modify this circuit a little bit and let's have a look and see what happens with the current going through the resistors. These two resistors are different values to each other. One's about double the size of the resistor of the other. In fact, one's about 300 and something or other ohms and one's about 600, nearly 700 ohms. So we would expect to see about double the resistance going between the two different resistors. And if I pass 5 volts through it and turn my power supply on, you'll see about 12 and about 8 milliamps going through those resistors. Let's spend a little bit of time thinking about this because something interesting is going on here. Ohm's law says that if the voltage stays the same, as the resistance goes down, the current goes up. And at first it plays with your head a little bit. After all, we've added more resistance here, and yet the amount of current going through this circuit has gone up. And the trick here is how we've added the resistance. The current now has two paths to pass through, and so the total value of the resistance in the circuit overall has actually gone down. And it has to, because if we just consider this resistor on its own, well, it's drawing current. And separately to that, in parallel to that resistor, it's also drawing current. And there's 5 volts across these resistors. So each resistor has to draw the amount of current that's rated for it at 5 volts. In this case, this resistor is about 7 milliamps, and that resistor is about 12 milliamps. Well, thanks for listening. That's a brief introduction to things in parallel.